The world beneath Valora's surface was not silent anymore. In the heart of the underground control chamber, Aaron woke with blue light crawling through his veins like living circuitry. The machines around him pulsed softly, breathing, listening like a sleeping giant that had finally opened one eye. Above, the arc of Earth floated in orbit like a second moon. Commander Rail stood on the bridge, watching the shield readings collapse minute by minute, integrity at 60%. An officer reported. Rail didn't blink. How long? The answer came like a verdict. Less than one rotation. Outside the shield, the Devourer pressed against the glowing blue barrier like an endless storm, shifting, learning, adapting. It wasn't just attacking anymore. It was studying. Aaron forced himself upright. The chamber was carved from stone and metal fused together, as if Valora's crust had been rewritten by a hand older than history. Symbols shimmered on the walls, human markings, but alive, rearranging like thoughts. A calm voice filled the air, not spoken through speakers, spoken through the chamber itself. Living link required. Hybrid gene confirmed. Guidance needed. Aaron swallowed. Guidance for what? A hologram formed in front of him, clearer than before. The human woman appeared again, eyes faintly glowing blue. This time she looked less like a projection and more like a memory given shape. You stabilized the shield, she said. You saved billions, but it won't last. Aaron's hands trembled. Then tell me what to do. Her expression darkened. The Devourer feeds on energy. Every weapon, every blast, every power surge turns into food for it. That's why the shield is failing faster than predicted. It's learning how to drink it. Aaron's chest tightened. So we can't fight. We can, she corrected, but not with force. She stepped closer, her voice turning softer, heavier. The only thing it cannot consume is pure memory, the energy of living minds, meaning, identity, truth. Aaron stared at her. You're saying, we stop it with memories, we stop it by making it remember, she said, and the core is not just power. It's a vessel, a bridge. Aaron's eyes narrowed. The core is alive. She nodded. It contains the essence of Earth, billions of human minds preserved when the planet fell. Their knowledge, their hope, their grief, humanity's last soul. The chamber shook as the Devourer struck the shield again. Dust fell like rain. Aaron whispered, if the core burns out, humanity ends. Yes, she said. Aaron felt something crack inside him. Then what's the plan? Her gaze locked onto his. The core needs a living guide, someone who can connect both species, someone it will listen to. Aaron knew the answer before she said it. Me. She nodded once. You. Deep under the Capitol. The Valoran High Council was no longer shouting like before. Now they watched the sky through screens and finally understood fear. Elder Duran stood before them, old hands clenched. We built our civilization on stolen history, he said. We called humans myths so we wouldn't have to face what our ancestors did. General Kavor's pride was cracking, but not gone. Even if the past is true, how does that save us now? A young scientist stepped forward, shaking. There's a way, she said. The core can generate a wave that the Devourer cannot consume because it isn't raw energy. It's neural resonance, shared consciousness. Kavor frowned. Speak clearly. If Valora's population aligns at the same moment through comm towers, old relic nodes, buried human networks, the core's memory wave can be amplified. Planet-wide, it becomes a frequency weapon the Devourer can't digest. Silence. Turan's voice softened. Our minds, our truth. Together. Kavor's jaw tightened. And if it fails? The scientist's eyes dropped. Then the shield collapses, and we lose everything. Turan turned to Kavor. Then we stop lying. We stand with them for the first time. Kavor didn't argue. He lowered his head. On the arc, Commander Rail watched new telemetry roll in Valoran compliance. Coordination, the first true cooperation in thousands of years. But then another alert blinked across the console. Devourer adaptation rate, increasing. Rail's voice stayed calm, but his eyes hardened. Redirect all non-essential systems into Valora's conduits. An officer hesitated. Sir, that will leave the Ark vulnerable. Rail didn't look away from the planet. We've been vulnerable since Earth burned. Do it. The Ark dimmed as rivers of power poured into the planet below blue lines, spreading across Valora's surface like glowing veins. Rail opened comms to every human ship. Send everything you have, not just power. If you can remember, send that too. Every memory matters. On the bridge, some crew members quietly cried because they understood this wasn't a military command. It was an offering. Then the devourer changed. It stopped slamming the shield. It pulled back almost. Thoughtful, sir, the sensor officer said, voice rising. It's not attacking. It's scanning. Rail's stomach sank. It's looking for a gap. A new alarm screamed. Anomaly detected. Inside the shield inside, Rail snapped forward. Track it. Coordinates appeared. Northern wastelands. Near the hybrid chamber. Near Aaron, Rail's hands clenched. It knows the core is waking. Aaron felt the air go cold. Not normal cold and emptiness. Like the chamber's light was being forgotten. A thin black thread crept along the wall shadow without shape. Hunger without sound. The AI voice surged. Through the chamber, intrusion detected. Devour fragment. Corruption risk rising. Aaron's throat tightened. What do I do? The hologram woman appeared again, urgent now. You have to wake the core fully, she said. If you hesitate, the fragment will corrupt it from the inside. Aaron shook his head. Well, you said waking it too fast could burn it out. It could, she admitted, unless you guide it. The chamber trembled. The shadow thread crawled closer. Aaron's voice broke. Is there a third option? Her eyes softened. Maybe. But it isn't in my programming. What is it, then? She stared at him like a mother staring at a child walking into fire. It's in the core, in the minds inside it. Someone that might know the path we never finished. Aaron inhaled. Shaking. Then he placed both hands on the console. Then I'm going in. The chamber vanished. Aaron's mind opened into something impossible, an endless space of light and darkness, filled with cities that didn't exist anymore, skies that belonged to a dead earth, and countless voices overlapping like waves. Some cried, some laughed, some screamed names Aaron didn't understand. And then the core spoke not as one voice, but as a billion voices forming one meaning. Bridge. Aaron tried to speak, but his voice became thought. I'm Aaron, he said inside the light. I'm Valoran, but I'm yours too. A presence formed and stable, shifting, made of memory. Choose. It said, choose what? 3 symbols appeared in the light. Symbol, terrifying. Weapon, wall. Wake. Aaron understood. Weapon. A final blast of memory wave that could stun the devourer but empty the core forever. Wall. Reinforce the shield, but the devourer would adapt again and again until it broke through. Wake. Something different. Something dangerous. Aaron's thoughts trembled. What does wake mean? The core's voices lowered, as if afraid of their own truth. Make IT remember. Aaron froze. The devourer can remember. It was once mine. Once life. Corrupted by hunger. It consumes because it forgot. Aaron's heart pounded. And the price? The core answered. A living guide must carry the memory into it. Aaron felt the weight of that sentence crush him. You mean, me. Hybrid blood can survive the crossing. Outside, the chamber shook again. Time was dying. Aaron looked at the 3 symbols. And chose above ground. Elder Terran broadcast. A planet-wide message. His face filled every screen. Valora, he said, voice shaking with truth. Remember what you love. Remember what you protected. Remember what you refused to face. And for one moment think as one. Across cities, markets, schools, hospitals, people stopped. They closed their eyes. They remembered. And the ancient human networks hidden beneath Valora statues, ruins, buried relays lit up like a waking nervous system. The core felt it. Aaron felt it. The wave grew. Not power. Meaning. The shadow fragment in the chamber trembled. The devourer outside the shield paused, tendrils hovering, for the first time since it arrived. It did not strike. It listened. Rail's voice cut across the fleet. All ships hold fire. No energy weapons. Human and Valoran fleets obeyed. The blue barrier shimmered. And then, through Aaron's mind, not through comms, came something that didn't sound like an enemy. A whisper from something ancient and starving. Home. Aaron's eyes flooded. Yes, he thought back. Home. The devourer's presence pressed closer. Not with force, with confusion. Why pain? Aaron's thought trembled with everything inside him. Valoran lives. Human ghosts. Betrayal. Hope. Because forgetting becomes hunger, he answered, and hunger becomes monsters. The devourer shuddered. A pulse of dim light flickered deep inside its mass like a heart remembering it once beat for something more than consumption. The AI voice returned quiet, almost reverent. Connection established. Devourer receptive. The hologram woman appeared beside Aaron again, her expression torn between hope and fear. You did it, she whispered. But now, there's one more choice. Aaron's hands clenched. What choice? She looked at him like the truth hurt to say. There is a memory sealed at the core center. Earth's final memory, the one we hid even from ourselves. Aaron's breath caught. If I open it, it could put the devourer to sleep, she said. Or it could trigger something worse. If it reacts with rage, the shield could collapse instantly. The core's billions of voices returned as one sentence. Open the memory, or seal at forever. The chamber symbol flared to life. Under the word judgment, a new word appeared sharp as a blade. Reckoning. Aaron stared at it above the planet. The fleets waited. Valora's people held their minds together like a fragile flame, and the devourer massive. Hungry, Trembling whispered one final word into Aaron's mind. Show. And Aaron realized whatever he chose next would not decide only Valora's fate. It would decide what humanity truly was and what it would become.